What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 158th edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, aka the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time. I forgot that right there.
Perfect.
I gotta lead off that way. It has to be done. It has to be done. The fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
AKA the Lil Wayne of podcasts.
Perfect.
Because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J Train.
Perfect.
Let's welcome my co-host, Cousin BigThad. BigThad, what's going on with you?
Ain't none. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
AKA the gatekeeper of the DMV. AKA the unofficial mayor of Prince George's County. What's going on, man?
Ain't none, player. Ain't none, cuzzo. Same old, you know. Another week in the life. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. I realize we're wearing the same thing pretty much. Black shirts.
That's cool. You know what I mean? Hey, we got to have some kind of uniformity a little bit.
And until I get a better camera, I can't wear black right now because look how the microphone blends with my beard, blends with my shirt. Like all you see is my head. Like this is not a good look. Not a good look.
It's all good. I'm still trying to make sure I don't look red up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how they just you gotta adjust and how the cameras just auto do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do that every once in a while, but it's all good.
It's Wednesday. Anything exciting happened this week, man?
Got some equipment from the new job that's starting on Monday.
Okay. Oh yes, I forgot. Congratulations on the new job.
You know, the good old feds, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of cracked me up because they sent this big box, right? So I'm like, yo, there's a lot of stuff in this joint. But I'm looking at the FedEx joint and it says, yeah, it's only like 5 pounds that's coming. So I'm like, yo, what is up with this big box? So I open the box and, you know, it's a laptop. Bruh. So you seen the Apple trackpad and the keyboard, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I have right now. I have a Mac.
Yeah, you know, so you seen the keyboard, how big the Bluetooth keyboard, mind you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. The
size of that joint, right?
Yes, I've seen that, yes.
So the laptop they sent me is a little bit bigger than that, yo.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It's literally like width-wise, it's a little bit wider. Like the total laptop is a little bit wider than my Mac Bluetooth keyboard.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, what is this? Why is this joint so small? So like I put my hand up to it. My hand just like morphs this joint. You know what I'm saying? It just dwarfs it. You know? So I'm like, now I got to get a keyboard. I got to get a monitor now because the screen's going to be too small. You know what I'm saying? And a mouse. You know what I'm saying? So I actually would stop by our aunt's house because I talked to Ma Dukes earlier and told her what was going on. And she was like, oh, yeah, I got a keyboard and a mouse at the house. Go see our aunt. You know what I'm saying? So we went by Auntie Lisa's house, saw grandma.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And come to find out the mouse wasn't there. She had a monitor there, but it was, I was like, nah, I'm leaving that joint there. But I got the keyboard, though. I got the keyboard, so. I got one out of the 3 things I want to go there and get, but at least I got to see our aunt, give her a hug. She was like, "You're vaccinated, right?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, bring it in." Yeah, so she's like, I haven't been able to hug you forever. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool seeing grandma, seeing our aunt. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Lisa. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, it was good, man. You know, just preparing myself for this new job start on Monday, and then you know, the usual school stuff, which I've been procrastinating on. I had a goal of finishing like this one paper that's due on Tuesday, and starting like having like half of the next one that's due in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm not even like halfway through the first one. Yeah. And then I got a wedding tomorrow, so I'm like, my head's just all craziness right now. But it's good, man. It's good. You know, I'll get it done as always. But Yes.
Talking about asking family members are they vaccinated when they come to the house. I can tell this story because I know the person is for sure not listening to this podcast. But I went to someone's home, and everyone in the entire house is vaccinated. Uh-huh. I went there with Rosie and Christina and Mom, and we're all vaccinated also. So all of us are in the house, all vaccinated. Mm-hmm. A guest comes over, unexpected.
Oh, man.
And not only do they come over, they walk in like without a mask.
Like nothing's going on.
Like nothing's going on. And it is a known thing that they are anti-vaxxer, like altogether. So they come over unannounced and then just walk in. And everyone's just kind of like, yo, if you're not going to do it, then wear a mask. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Give us a warning that you're coming.
Right.
And wear a mask. But it was just like, yo, you just walking into people's homes.
Right.
Just not saying anything. Like, come on. Like,
yo, well, come to think about it. Yo, Grandma said that to me the first time she came back.
Yeah.
When she first came back up here.
Yeah.
I had to go over to the house to get some stuff for what was it? Oh, I had to get the stuff for that. You remember when I came by the house? I had to pick up some stuff. Yeah. To send back home, and stopped over there. She was like, "You just coming in people's houses without masks on?" I'm like, "Yo, like, you're not just somebody. I know y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in the house. I ain't been nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I literally have been in the house all this time." And they were like, "Yeah, no, you still should be wearing a mask.
Yes,
you're walking in people's houses." I was like, "But you're you." You know what I'm saying? But I understood. But at that time, I understood. I was like, "Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I understand. I understand."
Man, we got a lot to get into for today's show. We
it.
are going to talk about the NBA. Specifically the Basketball Hall of Fame. We had inductions this week, and then we have new inductees for this year. So the induction for this weekend was for the 2020 class.
Right.
We have the 2021 inductees have been announced. So the induction ceremony will be later this year. We'll get into that. We'll get into the NBA play-in tournament. Mm-hmm. It already started in the East last night. We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. The Western Conference play-in tournament starts tonight and then continues for the next 2 nights. Right. We'll also get into some football and some baseball. We didn't talk about this topic last week, so we will get into it. Shower habits during the pandemic. Saw an interesting article. Okay. From the New York Times about this.
Okay. Yes.
So we didn't get into it last week, so we'll get into it this week. And then we are bringing back the Reddit topic of the week. Thanks to BigThad. Had one topic, the correlation between the 50-40-90 club in the NBA and NBA Finals.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, hold on. What topic are you talking about? Like, oh, okay. I got you.
Yep. So, yeah, just want to remind you all to subscribe to the podcast where it's available. And that includes Apple, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher. Also, you can watch us on YouTube. Right now, we're live. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in right now. Facebook and Twitch.
Hopefully we're not kicked off of Facebook right now. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot. You reminded me.
Right. Hopefully.
Oh, man, I'm so used to doing it this way.
No, man. See, that stuff, I mean, I understand why they do some of the stuff they do. But come on, son. If it's just an instrumental and it's basically a loop, you shouldn't have a problem with it, because that's all most like hip hop beats are all loops. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand, but on the other side, I'm like, you're not hearing the artist. You know what I'm saying? The artist is not putting out lyrics or nothing like that in the music, so who cares?
I know.
But no, yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you can definitely check us out there. If you are watching the live stream right now, let us know who you are. Let us know where you're listening from. Also, feel free to participate in the conversation. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments section, and we will get to them. Let's now get to the NBA. Talk about the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame induction for the class of 2020. Kobe Bryant was the headliner, the late Kobe Bryant of this class. Also Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Tamika Catchings, and Cotton Fitzsimmons as a contributor, and Rudy Tomjanovich as a head coach. Let's start with Kobe Bryant. And got a comment already. What's up, Aaron? How's everything, bro? Aaron's part of the OSS 980. Make sure you support them over there. No max, no entry until 2022. I'm with you, bro.
I feel you, bro. I feel you on that one. Yeah, because wild thing is I went to pool last night, you know what I'm saying? And I got a text message because I went to one pool hall and I had to go to another one. Well, the first one I was at, I already knew people weren't going to wear masks just because it's upper Anne Arundel County. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I already had my mask and I was going to have it on anyways. I didn't care. So I knew about that. But then I got a text message about the other pool hall that I was going to, and it was like, yo, nobody in this joint got a mask on. You know, just letting y'all know, FYI. I was like, oh, here we go. Of course, my whole team, we're wearing masks, so, you know, so it is what it is. But
we'll get into that during the sports free zone. The confusion. I forgot to talk about that. I'll add that to.
Is it really confusion, though?
It shouldn't be for people with common sense, but this pandemic has proven that most of America does not have common sense. So that's what that has proven.
Yeah. At least in the past 2 years, no common sense at all.
So back to the NBA. Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, was inducted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. Vanessa Bryant spoke in his honor. Michael Jordan introduced Kobe and her. Vanessa Bryant had a very good speech. I know it must have been very hard for her to discuss anything related to Kobe Bryant, especially after his passing. Right. She spoke about how he was a great father, how their relationship was, how when he was home, he was like any other regular guy, and when he was on the court, he was Mamba, pretty much. Yep. And she thanked him for everything that he had done for her and the family. Had a couple stories in there. Of course, man, it just made you think about the unfortunate passing last year. We've spoken about it a couple times. Kobe Bryant's death was a little difficult for even people who weren't even really fans of Kobe Bryant. Not saying that I wasn't a fan, but it was hard, especially the circumstances. Right. For me, it was my son was just 2 months old when that happened, and just, you know, thinking about, hey, what if I just go out and don't come back home? Right. You know, what's going to happen with the family? So that was a little difficult. Even my wife, who isn't even a basketball fan, she obviously knew who Kobe Bryant was and watched basketball here and there, but she wasn't really a fan. But when that happened, that really hurt her. And then just like a month and a half later, we have the pandemic and everything that happened over the last year and a half. So it was a little tough for people who were there. But Vanessa Bryant's speech was done really well. She's been strong ever since this unfortunate thing has happened for her and her family. Natalia, the eldest daughter, was also there. A little caveat with that: her prom was, I guess, the following day, and Vanessa Bryant told this story, and I don't know if she told it during the induction ceremony or if she just told it to someone that was interviewing her. But she said how she missed her prom because Kobe had a playoff game.
Wait.
Yeah, they were dating. They were dating. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because when when she got engaged, she was like 18. So
okay.
So she missed her prom because Kobe had a playoff game, and now the induction ceremony for her father was the day before Natalia's prom, and Natalia made a joke. She was like, "Yeah, Dad must be laughing right now because he stopped me from going to prom and he has stopped Natalia from going to prom and being with boys." So they laughed about it. And but she did go. Like, she came for the ceremony and then literally left, and the prom was the next day. But they had stories like that during the induction ceremony. Also, Tim Duncan. People thought he wouldn't have spoke. I mean, Tim doesn't really speak much.
Nah, he don't really speak at all, bro. Nah.
But a lot of people said his speech was done really, really well. And you saw another side of Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett was another unexpected thing. You think Kevin Garnett's gonna be brash and braggadocious, but he really spoke about, just was thanking the people along the way in his career that helped him and things like that. And then some other memories. Rudy Tomjanovich spoke about his time with the Rockets, and he had an interesting topic. And I feel like we spoke about it before, but we can address it again. He said that Robert Horry should be in the Hall of Fame, in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think about that?
Big Shot Bob? Of course. Of course. Big Shot Bob. Gotta be in there. I know you don't think he should be in there, but, you know, it's Big Shot Bob. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, because some of Kobe's rings he wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, without Big Shot Bob. You know what I'm saying? And some of the Houston Rockets joints they wouldn't have either. So, yeah, Big Shot Bob should be in that joint.
I know you don't.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I don't think so, man. Look,
I know you don't.
He hit. Don't get me wrong, and I know as soon as I explain this, people are gonna be like, "You're giving like the answer. You're basically saying he should be there," but I don't think he should be there. I understand that he hit big shots in that 94 finals against the Knicks, like along the way. And none of them were like game winners, but they were still big shots.
Every championship he's had.
Also,
Every single championship.
Also, we know about 94. Also, we know about the 2000. What year would have that been? That would have been 2003. Yes, 2000. Or was it 2002? 2002. 2002, I believe. I can't remember the one against the Kings where he hit that game winner in Game 4, which ultimately ended up really being the game that helped the Lakers stay in there and then eventually win. He hit a big shot in the 2005 NBA Finals against the Detroit Pistons when he was with the Spurs. I understand that, but the Hall of Fame is more than big shots. I'm sorry. What do you have to say after I say that?
I mean, there's folks in there that made big shots. Just saying. Some of them probably shouldn't even be in there, but they're in there. But you gotta give him his flowers, bruh. You gotta give him his flowers, so he gotta be in there.
I don't, man.
Chris Webber's in there.
Yeah, and Chris Webber's done a lot more in the NBA. We'll get into that.
Not really.
What do you
Come
mean?
on, bro. Come on.
Goodness.
He's done a lot more for the culture of basketball than he has as a player.
We'll get into Chris Webber
Come on,
later, man.
Big Shot Bob.
I mean,
give it to him. Stop it.
So should Steve Kerr be in the Hall of Fame?
Steve Kerr, is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Oh.
No. And no one's going to confuse.
Steve Kerr had one. No. He had one good shot, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But.
And when I say Steve Kerr, should he be in the Hall of Fame as a player?
Paxson, though? Oh,
should not.
Paxson definitely should if you're going to put Kerr in.
And that's
big shot. Paxson was killing it.
And that's
him and Craig Hodges and BJ Armstrong.
So
All three of them.
So that's the thing. That's
All three of them
Pandora's
should be in
box now.
You know what I'm saying? But Robert Horry did it on a bigger level than they did.
They all did it during championship runs, or in championship
But Horry did
games.
it on a constant basis, though.
Was Horry ever, or any of those guys that you mentioned, were they ever the fourth, fifth, or sixth guy that a team scouted?
Wait, hold on. I got to think about
scouted.
I got to think about these Jordan teams here. I would say maybe they were like fourth or fifth.
They might have. I'll say
Fourth or
this:
fifth.
those guys might have been scouted for like situational parts in the film study.
Look, they knew their job. All right,
They did a good job. I'm not going to sit here and act
You know what
like
I'm saying? And they did their job. You know what I'm saying?
I just think Hall of Fame, you got to do more than just like.
No, I understand. Trust me, I feel you. I understand it because there's a lot of things when it comes to like the NFL Hall of Fame where I'm like, yo, there's no reason why this person should be in here. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, we're probably going to talk about it later about Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
and that meme or whatever it was. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we tend to put these players at a higher level when it comes to giving them their flowers. You know what I'm saying? So especially when it comes to Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? We're strict about it, but I don't think the NBA is that strict when it comes to it.
The NBA is not that strict, but even though it's not that strict, I'm like, yeah, man. I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. No.
I think
what,
Horry should be in there.
7 rings.
7 rings, yeah.
But I mean 7 rings where he played with Hakeem Olajuwon,
yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant,
yeah,
Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Come on.
All those guys are going to get in there before him if they're not in there already.
So I'm gonna ask you this follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Should Draymond Green be in the Hall of Fame?
See, why would you
Don't
ask
be rude.
me? Why would you ask me that question?
See,
you know I hate that dude. You know I hate him.
He
You know
got
what
a
I'm saying?
defensive player of the year.
I just hate him.
Oh, Lord.
You
Defensive player.
See, you want me to be messy. You know what I'm saying? You want me to be messy. You know I'm going to say no. You know I'm going to say no. But based on what he has done, he's definitely going to be in there.
Perfect.
Now, would I agree that he's like one of the best defensive players of all time? Hell no. Not at all.
Man, this
Can't
is
do
funny.
I hate that dude. I hate him with a passion. Let's keep going, yo. Let's keep
Now,
going.
the 2021 class was announced this weekend also.
Yeah.
Headliners right now, Rick Adelman, Rick Adelman. So one of the ninth winningest head coach in NBA history, Rick Adelman. 2-time NBA champion and 11-time All-Star Chris Bosh. We have Paul Pierce, who's the NBA Finals MVP and a 10-time All-Star. We have Bill Russell getting in as a coach.
Nice.
So he was the first black NBA head coach. 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace. 5-time All-Star and Rookie of the Year, Chris Webber. 2-time NCAA champion Villanova head coach Jay Wright, and 7-time WNBA All-Star and 2-time Olympic gold medalist Yolanda Griffith, and 7-time WNBA All-Star and 3-time WNBA MVP Lauren Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, I mentioned Cotton Fitzsimmons. He's going to be for this class, not the 2020 class. Cotton Fitzsimmons as a contributor. Howard Garfinkel. We have Tony Kukoc from the International Committee.
Oh.
Bob Bob Dandridge, which I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame. Like, this is, I can't believe he wasn't even there. Like,
Wow.
but he gotten through the Veterans Committee and Pearl Moore from the Women's Veterans Committee.
Okay.
And Clarence Fats Jenkins from the Early African American Pioneer Committee. So those are your 2021 Pro Basketball Hall of Fame inductees.
What do you think about that Kukoc thing?
It's for the International Committee, and I understand. I don't have a. I gotta go back and look at, this is so off topic. I gotta go back and look up Dino Radja's international stats,
Right.
because when he got inducted, even from the International Committee, a lot of people were like, Dino Radja, like,
Right.
I do believe Tony Kukoc did a lot before he came to the NBA.
Oh yeah, he was literally the guy in Europe, internationally. Like, everybody was trying to go after the dude, but he was young at the time too. Yeah. So, but yeah, he was killing it over there. So
it was him and Sabonis, and Sabonis was already kind of older,
right?
But like you said, Kukoc was younger at the time. I mean, that was the reason why Jerry Krause was trying to get Scottie Pippen out of here.
Right.
You know?
right.
So yeah, I don't have a problem with that, with the International Committee getting them in there. I think this is a very good class. Now you're asking, you mentioned Chris Webber.
Would you say he was 4-time All-Star?
5-time All-Star.
5-time All-Star.
Average Rookie of the Year. Averaged 20 and 9 and
okay. Never mind.
And 20 and 9 and I think 4 or 5 assists.
Okay.
One of the best passing big men.
No, don't go. Look,
we know,
I love Chris Webber. Chris Webber.
We know what he did for the Fab Five.
Yeah.
I understand why he
completely changed the culture of basketball.
Yes. I understand why he didn't get in, the first or second time he was eligible, but we're talking about 8 years later. Like, come on.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, 8 years after he was eligible.
Wow.
Like, this is
I think that Michigan stuff had something to do with that.
For sure. And I understand that, but also, like, this long, like, come on. Yeah. That's way too long. Way too long.
No, I liked Webber. I wish he never left Washington.
I mean, yeah. I followed him for Sacramento for a couple years.
Was it him and Alonzo? Was that Alonzo?
No,
was it
Rasheed?
We were No. I'm talking about us trying to get Alonzo.
Oh, the Wizards were trying to get him.
Yeah, that big contract. That big contract that didn't happen.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. It was like we signed him on this big contract, and it was almost kind of like the Chris Paul LA thing that happened. And then they were like, nah, this isn't happening, whatever. But nah, like him, when Webber was here with Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace, and how do we have all of them dudes except Webber win the championship like the next 2 years?
Ridiculous. Yeah, the thing about and Ben Wallace, we forgot to talk about him. Or no, we can talk. Yeah, he's going to be inducted. Ben Wallace, I mean, one of the best on-ball defenders of all time. You got to get him in there. You got to get him in there. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, strapping up guys like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
in Shaquille O'Neal's prime.
Don't forget about the afro.
Yep. And he was only 6'9".
Yeah. I think it's like I mean, they on paper they say 6'9". I think he might have been 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And then who was Rick Adelman? I mean, he's getting in there. Paul Pierce, first ballot Hall of Famer. I think obviously he had a good career, man. He had a near great career. You got to give it to him.
Near great.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about everything he compiled, and then obviously
one.
That was the icing on the cake. If he didn't have a single championship, he would have been one of those guys that might have took 5, 6, or even 10 years to get in. But he was like, okay, Championship in Boston. You got to remember that. It's a championship in Boston. It's not a championship in Milwaukee.
That's true. That's true.
No shade to Milwaukee.
So when is Ray Allen getting in, yo?
Well, Ray Allen. When did Ray Allen retire?
It was.
Or was it the same year as Paul Pierce?
I want to think.
Or was it before? That I don't remember.
It was definitely.
It had to be before.
It was definitely after the Miami championship, and then they tried to get him out of retirement for the Cleveland run.
Let me look up Ray Allen's
They were talking to him about coming back and playing in Cleveland when Kyrie and LeBron were going for that. I think that first one, and then
2014. Whoa. Yeah,
that's
why?
That's what I'm saying. How Paul Pierce get in there before Ray Allen?
He has a Finals MVP. That's literally the reason. Now, and he also scored more points. Even as great as Ray Allen was, he scored more points. So that's why I believe that's why he's not in yet. Now he has to get in soon. I mean, he was the leader in threes until Curry broke it.
Right.
so you gotta get him in there. Yeah, I'm actually shocked you didn't really. There wasn't much pushback for the Chris Webber induction.
Why would there be?
Because I thought you would have said something.
No.
I thought you treated him like John Wall.
Oh no, not at all. No. I love Chris Webber, man. Always like Chris Webber. That's why I used to follow the Kings. Was because of him.
I mean, that's the same reason why they were my favorite team for 5 years.
Yeah.
And as soon as he left, it was like, all right, well,
I didn't follow him to Philly though. I didn't follow him to
Philly or Detroit. No. That was the end.
No.
That was the end. And he still was serviceable, but
the shoes were fire.
No, as big as a Chris Webber fan.
I like the shoes.
The Dadas.
No, not was it he had another one. Did he only have the Dadas?
Yeah, the one with the Spreewells in them.
Oh no, I didn't like his shoes. No, that wasn't him. No, it wasn't him.
Oh man! All right, let's get to this NBA play-in tournament. Started last night. The 9 versus 10 matchup in the East was the Indiana Pacers versus the Charlotte Hornets. Pacers washed them. I'm not even wasting our time talking about that. It was a blowout from the beginning to the end. Let's get to the 8-9 matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards.
7-8 matchup.
Sorry, you're right. 7-8 matchup. I said that incorrectly.
Yeah.
7-8 matchup. Jayson Tatum went off for 50.
Well,
could not be stopped.
Let's say first he went for 37 at the half.
Yes,
37 at the half.
Wizards were up by 2 points.
Right.
When this happened, at halftime. And then after that, it was game over for the Washington Wizards. Wasn't even close. Jayson Tatum could not be stopped. Usually, when a player like this goes off on the Washington Wizards, even without watching the game, I could sit there and tell you the team played terrible team defense.
Of course.
I watched the game. No one could stop him last night. No one could stop him. Now, what hurt the Wizards was letting Kemba Walker score a lot of points and letting Marcus Smart score. And letting people like Nesmith and
who?
Yeah, exactly. He put up clutch buckets in the second half. That's what hurt the Wizards, and that's typically what hurts the Wizards.
Oh, you know why it hurts? You know why it hurts the Wizards?
Why?
Sky Brooks. I bet you he never made any type of adjustment after halftime.
No.
Bet you he didn't.
No.
And I didn't even watch the game.
Offensively, no.
I wanted to watch the game, and I was like, yo, I'm going to a pool hall. They got plenty of TVs. And you know what was on?
What?
Hockey. And it wasn't even the Capitals.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even the Capitals. Hockey was on, and I think on another TV I saw there was baseball. No basketball at all. I'm like, wow. I'm not even gonna be mad because I'm not gonna go up to the bar and be like, "Yo, can you put a TV on it?" Nah, never mind. Forget it. Decided to look at ESPN app to see what was going on, and I realized they lost because the first thing I saw was Tatum for 50, and I said, "Nope, turning off the app. I'm not even gonna look at the score."
Yeah, man. I mean, I said I stopped watching. I tweeted. I said someone let me know if the Wizards make a comeback, but then the TV ended up staying on the channel, and Wizards never made the comeback. Russell Westbrook, he did look a little like unengaged in the beginning of the game. Then he kind of heat up in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of the third quarter, it was like he didn't really like. It was odd. I've never seen this Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bradley Beal was missing shots.
Yeah.
And I feel like once they got down by like 10, and it was still the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Once they got down to 10, it was more like, we could win the next game.
No, I got you.
And still get in. And I feel like they really packed it in.
It's almost kind of like in their mind, they were like, "Yo, we don't want to play Brooklyn anyways." You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind.
Brooklyn's number 1?
No, Brooklyn's number 2.
Oh, you're right. They didn't want to play. You're right.
Like they
so
didn't
they
want to play Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That would have been interesting just to see Russ go up against Kevin Durant. And I don't think he could sustain 7 games or, however many games. But it would have been fun just seeing that happen. But anyways, Wizards now are going to face the Indiana Pacers here in Washington for the do or die. They swept the Pacers this season. And I'm already like, yeah, that's a bad sign. I
don't like it. I don't like
it.
That. The way that team went off, and I didn't even see the game. I saw their stat line, and I was like, the way that team went off. I already had said prior when they showed the play in like rankings or whatever, and I was like, yo, if we don't beat the Celtics, I really don't want to see the Hornets or the Pacers again. You know what I'm saying? After the last couple games of the season, regular season. I was like, yo, I honestly definitely, like, I don't want to play the Hornets again, but I'd rather play the Hornets again than to play the Pacers. And then to see the Pacers do this to the Hornets, and I'm like.
With no Karis LeVert.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure if Karis LeVert's going to be available for the next game.
He's going to be out for at least 2 games. 2 or 3 games.
Well.
Yeah, easy.
Like
2 or 3 games easy. That's what they're saying. Like, minimum.
Now, they still have DeMontis Sabonis. They still have Malcolm Brogdon, who have some playoff experience. Malcolm Brogdon's been to an Eastern Conference Finals. Last season, the Pacers as a team got to the playoffs. Yes, they lost in the first round, but they were there.
Don't they have Holiday? Has Holiday been to the playoffs?
I think with the Pacers last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's not Drew, so,
Is that his brother?
Yeah, that's one of the other brothers.
Okay. I thought they were both on the same team for some reason. But
now, with the Wizards, I hope they win. But if they lose,
you know what we want.
That should be the icing on the cake to get Scott Brooks out of here.
Like regardless, like even if they do win and go to the first round, he should still be fired, regardless. Because you could tell how the team plays without him. You know what I'm saying? Without his coaching. Like they could literally be 4th or 5th seed in this conference right now. Just from his coaching. You know what I'm saying? Without his coaching, they should be at least 4th or 5th seed right now. He's fucking terrible.
Very, very, in my opinion. Let's now move to the West, which is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We have The San Antonio Spurs going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. That's the 9-10 matchup. And the 7-8 matchup is the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors.
Why are we watching this now? You know what I'm saying?
Why you say? What do you mean?
Like, why was it's so weird seeing them being in the play-in against each other? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
it's so weird seeing it. Like I heard some people talk about like, yo, this should literally be like a semifinal, matchup that's happening in a play-in.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to win this playing game? LeBron is back. AD still battling always battling some injury. Jesus, man. But who do you think is going to win this matchup tonight?
Barring any type of weird injury or whatever between the two teams, I would say the Lakers.
I also think the Lakers should win. I don't care about the other playing series, so I'm asked this question.
I'll say Spurs. I'll say Spurs on that one.
Whoever loses, are they beating the winner of the 9-10 match?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When you said Memphis Grizzlies, I was like, wait, they were in this?
Yeah, I mean, the Memphis, they're young, they're exciting.
I forgot they got Ja Morant.
Yeah, they're young and exciting. I'll give them that. And it seems like their coach that they have now, he see if they let him grow with the team, things should be fine. Let's now get to the shenanigans. I know we're about almost 40 minutes in, but we got a lot of time to talk about this.
Shenanigans. Yeah.
Kwame Brown is in the news.
Woo.
Kwame Brown.
And it's not for being a bust in the NBA.
Kwame Brown. Jeez, let me see if I could find my tweets, because let me open up Twitter so I can find everything.
See, the funny thing is you told me to open up Twitter, and I'm still looking. I'm like, what is going on? Then I seen some clip or whatever, and then I had to go to YouTube. I just had to go to YouTube because I was like, I'm not searching Black Twitter to find this, because
take a why that's how you that's how I found out about this Black Twitter. Like, come on, man. I'm still trying to find ways to traverse Black Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, bro. Like, it's hard to find Black Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Because basically you told me you sent me a text and it was like, where is this at? And you were like, Twitter. And I was like, I went to Twitter and I was like, what is he talking about? And I'm looking. Then I think you shared a post or something like that, and then I saw it. I was like, yeah, I'll make that trade too, because it was a clip with Kwame talking about the trade for Elton Brand. And I was like, oh yeah, yes. I'll definitely make that trade. I don't care who it is. I don't care how good you are as a first pick. That trade would definitely happen. So I'm like, all right, cool. But then I didn't realize there was more to it. And I was like, I'm looking. I'm hearing people say stuff, not seeing anything. I was like, you know what? Going to YouTube. And then I found it. I was like, oh, it's first I went to the All in Smoke joint. Yes.
And I watched that. And after that, I'm kind of like, they really didn't talk about Kwame. For like they talked about him. It was maybe it been like a minute or 2 minutes when Gil was talking about the Wizards, but that was it. You know what I'm saying? That was it. Like Steven Jackson said his little cackles or whatever, but literally that was it. Like, I honestly thought they would have a lot to talk about with him, and they didn't really have much to talk about him. Then I watched Kwame. I was like, yo, this dude is wild, son.
So let's do a reset on this entire situation.
Yes.
On All the Smoke podcast.
So messy.
With Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. They had Gilbert Arenas. They spoke about a lot of things. Gilbert mentioned Kwame Brown. And that's when Matt Barnes he put in a little jab in on Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, "Oh, the number one pick, Kwame Brown." And
the greatest what did he say, the greatest like draft pick ever or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
And then Steven Jackson snickered also, and they laughed. What's his name? Gilbert did kind of laugh, but then Gilbert was trying to at least be upfront about Kwame Brown, and he said, "Look, man, Kwame came in a very interesting situation. He came under Michael Jordan, who is Michael Jordan." Michael Jordan, the great player, but also the bad front office guy. And he said,
the one that was like, "Yo, you don't play."
Yes,
that's how he treated rookies, and we saw that in the documentary. How he treated that one Bulls rookie. It's like, yo, yeah, he definitely did that to Kwame for sure.
So we had that situation. Well, Kwame had I guess he had all the time. All the time in the world.
I mean, he ain't doing nothing, so yeah. I would have all the time too.
And he just was probably fed up with everything, with everyone just talking about him all the time. And especially this. He's probably really fed up with, it would be one thing if it was Kobe Bryant talking about Kwame Brown, or Michael Jordan talking about Kwame Brown, or even like some of these guys who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Right. It'd be one thing if it was one of those guys talking about him. But he's probably like, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson?
Right.
Like, why are y'all talking about me?
Did I even play with y'all?
Like, yeah, y'all might have won some titles here and there, but come on. Like, y'all weren't number one overall picks. Y'all weren't good enough to be number one overall picks. Right. Y'all weren't good enough to be in the NBA for 13 years just because he was a number one overall pick. Like if Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson were as bad as Kwame Brown was, they would not have been given second chance or third chances. But because Kwame Brown had the potential, it was, all right, we're gonna let this rock.
Right.
So they said what they had to say. Kwame Brown had to say this, and I'm going to add it here to the stream. I wasn't prepared, so I'm going to have to play it straight off of the Twitter page. And if Twitter would cooperate with me, just when you need something, Twitter does not want to function.
Of course not. Of course not.
So yeah, let me just remove this for now. He mentioned that those guys shouldn't be talking about me, and he went off in several videos. He called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair.
Oh yeah, plenty times.
Becky with the good hair. When he said it the first time, I'm like, hold on, was there a woman that was on the podcast that I just didn't see?
Right.
Or there was a part about a woman, was he talking about someone? No, he was talking about Matt Barnes. He called him Becky with the good hair. Mm-hmm. He said Steven Jackson, he said 1 minute you a gangster, next minute you Black Lives Matter. Like, which one is it?
Right.
He's like, yo, you acting real tough. And then basically said that, these guys are really just doing this performative thing for basically white people in entertainment. I'm not sure if I'm frozen, but that I know you can hear me. So
I can hear you, so we're good.
I'm probably frozen right now.
I'm surprised you didn't. Well, yeah, I'm surprised you even said anything about it because I was just going along with it.
I mean, I just happened to see it. I just happened to see that I am not moving, but I can hear you, and obviously, if I can hear you, then
can you see me? Though is the question.
I mean, now you've frozen. You have frozen, and now I can kind of look.
I can still hear you.
This is the thing with this internet service. They since this pandemic has happened, they have not figured out how to like make things work.
Yeah, make things work smoothly. They never.
But anyways,
because you got Comcast, right?
Yes.
See, there you go. There you go. That's the one thing at the old house with my parents. They had Verizon internet, but Comcast cable.
Yeah,
because Comcast internet is just terrible.
Yeah, man, and I'm connected with an Ethernet cable to the router.
See, that makes no sense.
Why am I still having these issues?
Right. If you were Wi-Fi, okay, I understand, but you're directly connected to it. Ridiculous.
But anyway, so Kwame Brown mentioned, he said how, Steven Jackson, he's 1 minute he's a gangster, 1 minute he's Black Lives Matter. Which one is it? And he said how Gil is also a tap dancer for the white folks. He also mentioned this was the funniest part to me. To me, this was the funniest part. He said if Matt Barnes had used his light-skinnedness like Drake does, his wife wouldn't have cheated on him.
Yo, hilarious. Yes, I do remember hearing that, and I started dying laughing.
Like, that is wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
He said that.
Because he even say, he was like, yo, we never, where I grew up, we never messed with dudes like you. Like, dudes like you, we used to use them as crash test dummies. I was like, yo. Yes, Derek. Kwame has been a one-man army, for sure.
Kwame also mentioned that, yes, he was drafted number 1 overall, but that he was never meant to be with the Washington Wizards. He told a story where he said, similar to what you said about Michael Jordan not liking rookies playing, and especially an 18-year-old at this time,
right? During
an era where, yes, you had Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, but it still was like you had to be great to come out of high school. Right. And based on Kwame Brown's high school career, he was almost great.
He wasn't the number 1 player in high school, I could tell you that much.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
But he was almost there.
Right.
So, yeah. Gabe, we're having a little technical difficulty. I'm not sure what's going on, but he says, why don't y'all do this on Skype?
Look, Skype, yeah, we tried that.
Yeah. We're having a technical difficulty right now with the live stream.
It's not the application that's being used for the stream. It's the internet service provider that is the problem.
Yeah. But thank you for tuning in, Gabe.
Thank you, Gabe. Gabe's looking at me talking. See you, like literally right now. You're frozen with like your mouth open right
now. Yeah. Got jokes. He said Joe Budden looking terrible. Oh, you got jokes.
Let's not talk about Joe Budden right now. Let's not talk about Joe Budden.
Back to Kwame Brown, and he said how when he got drafted, he was supposed to be traded for Elton Brand,
right?
Elton Brand to then play with the Wizards, while Jordan was with the Wizards. Now, this brings up an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Michael Jordan knew before he announced that he was coming back. Because remember, Michael Jordan made his announcement in 2001.
Right.
That he was coming back. We know the draft is in June.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he knew that he was coming back, but he didn't really tell anyone that he was coming back. That could be something. Or maybe it was when Jordan knew in September that he was going to be coming back, he was going to get Elton Brand to help him with this team. Either way, it is what it is. And he said, yeah, man. And he said, yeah, I had to deal with Jordan. He was tough. And he was like, and he's still, after this, don't blame Jordan for any of his issues in the NBA.
Right. He's never blamed him for anything.
Well, hit the wrong sound effect on that one.
I was like, wait, what is going on here?
My hand hit the wrong thing on here. But either way, so sorry to those who are on the live stream right now. I know it's acting up right now. We're going to try and get things situated. But yes, we're going to speak through this still, no matter what.
Oh, no doubt.
He also, this was another funny part. He said, "Yeah, man, Kobe and I dropped 82."
Yeah. I was like, hold on. Well, Kobe scored 82. Where did it become we? And I was like, oh, let's go.
He said, Kobe and I dropped 82. Oh, man. And then he also said, yeah, I might not have been that good in basketball, but I've been good in life because I got money, and at 18 years old, I bought my mom a house on a golf course.
Right.
Yeah. So he was like, I won in life, you know? So yeah, man, Kwame Brown, man, he's definitely changed a lot of opinions. One thing about Kwame Brown, I honestly, and I'm not trying to be a revisionist, I don't remember myself totally saying he was a bust at a given time. It was more it's disappointing, but I don't think I personally called him a bust. And then, yes, he ended up going to play with Kobe Bryant, which, you know, we spoke about the positive things of Kobe Bryant earlier in this episode. But one of the negative things was he was a terrible teammate, especially during that time Kwame Brown was there. So that didn't help that he went from one player and Michael Jordan to another player, Kobe Bryant. You know, so that's something that people seem to not remember about this situation.
All right, I'm here.
D, what's good, son?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, I was like, what? Like, I could hear him. I could hear him fine. I don't know if y'all could hear him or anything.
Yeah, we could still hear him. That was the funny thing.
Yeah.
Was that he was just sitting there. It was just like, he had his eyes like slightly closed, like. So it was
mouth open like he like he was waiting for a glizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shoot, like you just grabbed the mic. That's pretty much the same thing.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I was just really surprised, man. Let's see.
Yeah. So I know we was just you guys were just talking about Kwame Brown and his Swiss Army knife. Going to war with everybody, it seems like. Good grief.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know, because I think I saw something on your Twitter, and it was I think you had said he was talking about Stephen A. and then was it Jamel Hill also?
Well, Jamel Hill, that was kind of interesting because I saw Kwame Brown's video before I saw Jamel Hill's tweet. It was actually a tweet. And I think he took that literally because her tweet was just a button that says it was basically like a metaphor for he chose violence, which we all know is not literally like he meant physically. It's always like you see the phrase in hockey games like Tom Wilson chose violence today. Well, Tom Wilson, that's a different story. He'll knock your ass out. But for Jamel Hill, it was just the fact that she was just like, oh, he just chose violence. And he took it literally. Hopefully somebody would get to him and be like, look, that's just a phrase nowadays that people, say to say that he's just on a rampage.
Right. Yeah, he definitely woke up, just chose violence.
Yeah, he literally woke up at 7 a.m. just to keep going. It's like nonstop. It's like he's asleep thinking about what can I say next.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what else comes out of this, man. I mean, after all these years of hearing people talk about Kwame being a bust or whatnot, and a joke, you know what I'm saying, and just see him just come out of nowhere, just okay, I'm about to say something. I'm like, yo, where's he been all this time? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because it's the first time I've heard him speak ever. I've never paid attention to him in interviews. No. Like for someone being country as hell, he's what? Okay, I know white people don't do this. I'm gonna just do it. I'm prefacing this. Don't do this. He's well spoken,
right,
from the country, and yeah, I just because you never heard him speak before. Usually, he was telling the truth. He's been quiet all this time, and now it's just like he's speaking, and everyone's listening.
Right, it's so wild. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to think about it myself, man. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard him really talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear him now talking, and I'm like, hold up, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
What? Who are you? And then he's saying some real stuff, man. He's saying some real stuff, like smart stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Also, and I'm like, wow, okay, Kwame, I got a little bit more respect for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even definitely outside of the basketball realm, I got mad respect for you with some of the stuff you're coming out with. You know what I'm saying? And how he's just talking about these dudes, and I'm just like, he's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? He's not wrong by any means. You know
I was having a discussion on Twitter. You probably saw the thread with myself and my boy Bills, in which he'll probably be on tonight when my show goes live. And we were just talking about the fact that, you know, people obviously they're looking at all this going on with Kwame Brown, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Rachel Nichols' name got thrown in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like, I really want to. Was that in his long hour plus long video? Did he talk about, or was this something else with Rachel Nichols?
It seemed like because he's doing this on multiple platforms. He's doing it on IG Live. He's doing it on Twitter. He's not really doing it so much on Twitter. It's like IG Live, YouTube, and bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, so everything's getting jumbled. Like, you got to find the bits and pieces and put them together. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but the thing about Rachel Nichols was the fact that he called her a snake, but didn't want to call her out of her name. And it was just like, wow, because Rachel Nichols' name was brought up in the past with somebody else just recently. So, and that was, you know, Paul Pierce, that whole thing that he went through, you know, her name popped up because somebody in the chat was like, where's Rachel Nichols? But the fact that her name pops up because of something she said many years ago about Kwame. So,
got you. Hold on. Yeah.
Is he still trying to situate himself?
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually texting him now just to double check and see what's going on with him. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, everything's all right. Make sure his laptop ain't blow up or something like that.
I'm about to say, I thought my computer was about to blow up because just as I was about to hit the invite, also my computer shut down on me. So I was just like,
that was that Windows update, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Windows update. Man, Microsoft already going through hell, even though he's not directly involved with the company anymore. That divorce.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Oh, man. So, you know what? Let's talk a little NFL, yo.
Okay.
So, what are you liking with our football team right now? Are you? Well, actually, you know what? Since we're same age, we grew up around the same time. Are you still calling them Redskins, or are you calling them football team?
At first, I was hardcore about keeping the name, but to tell you the truth, I'm like, when you have the ability to change, I'm like, obviously they did it because everybody was coming down on them. Like, eventually sponsors started to pull out. That's
right.
Hey, DMV fans, just to let y'all know, it's only because of money they changed their name or about to change their name, not because of anything, you know, the people did. So don't celebrate. But anyway.
Right.
The opportunity to change and then become something that organically fits the team actually is a blessing in disguise. You know, I'm not hardcore about it like some people probably like in the outskirts in Virginia probably voted Trump and stuff like that. And
right.
So
those that want the team to come to Virginia, you know.
They're about to lose their training camp spot. Apparently, the lease came up on Richmond.
Oh, jeez.
So
is it going to go back to
Carlisle? Matter of fact, that year we went up there. I was up there early because I was up there for football. I saw Darryl Green, Trey Johnson. My father was looking at me like looking at Daryl Green. Was like, you could play. Yeah, right. I was like, I saw Trey Johnson. Was like, nah, that ain't happening. My 5'10", 150 frame going across the middle. Unless Frostburg was going to feed me, which they look like they could. That's a beautiful campus still to this day.
Dude, I went up there maybe about 2 years ago for a wedding, and I decided to drive past the university. I was like, it's definitely changed, but it still looks the same. You know what I'm saying? Except that remember when our freshman year that McDonald's they took away that was on campus.
Remember, it was only our freshman year. For me, it was only a semester. I was gone.
Oh, you left the same time too?
Yeah, I didn't come back.
I didn't realize you left too, man.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, yeah, I was only
left
there the semester too.
So Eric was left up there, and Ryan was left up. So it was like the Math of Wild Lake still in the same. but Ryan, his ex, came,
right?
But it's still his ex now because she's married, has kids, and living a happy life.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, I've already adopted two names, and I think it's on everybody's top two: it's Warriors or Red Wolves. My personal favorite is Red Wolves.
Okay. I'm liking either one of those. Myself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at first I was like, yeah, we grew up Redskins fans. You know what I'm saying? Now it changed to the football team. Like, I still don't have a problem with the name being football.
I never had a problem with the name. I'm like, and as Black people, we claim to be like 1/16 Cherokee or Navajo. In my case, Blackfoot.
Right. Because of the hair. You know what I'm saying? Got the good.
What hair? It used to be waves, but I'm just saying.
Of course. But like I hadn't had a problem. I mean, me, it's like with me having a business or whatnot. Every once in a while you gotta update your brand. You know what I'm saying? And hey, this is the perfect time to start a new brand in my mind. I'm like, hey, let's do it. It is what it is.
It's one more change that they need to do.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Now, one more change, and the reason why he did what he just did, because when he sells the team, because it's coming, he wants all the money, not just part of it. He only was going to have 60% of that money if he sold the team. So he consolidated everybody. So you have 100%. So when he sells the team, he can sell it at 100% and walk away.
And to pay that, what was it? How much did they say it was that he had to pay back the NFL or something like that? It was like the NFL gave him the money to buy them out, but he has a certain amount of years to pay it back. And I'm like, what? I was like, how you gonna put this man in more debt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they already forced him to pay Bruce bitch ass Allen. Right. So that was funny.
Man. But yeah, I heard they're looking at they're allowing Morgan Moses to like search for trades. Like, he's
been a warrior, literally playing through injuries and stuff like that. He hasn't missed a game, apparently. If that's a true stat, somebody please correct me on this, because he's played through ankles, knees, back, neck, wrist, pride, everything.
Right.
He's played through all that. But I'm hearing that, yes, they are allowing him to explore a trade, but the thing is, he didn't request a trade.
Got you. So it's one of them things.
Like,
hey, see if you want to.
Right.
We're not going to tell you if we're going to release you or not, but
we're going to throw this out there just in case.
Get some feelers. You know what I'm saying? Get some feelers. Let's see what we can do.
Right, because I'm like, the team has definitely changed over. If we want to start focusing on the roster in this squad, I don't know if that's on the docket for today, but just for a split second, the quarterback position is the only place I see holes. because the way the positions are being filled in, every spot's up for competition, and competition is good.
Right. Of course.
So
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just one of them things. You know, we're so used to the shenanigans with this team for years now. You know what I'm saying? And now we have somebody in there that is bringing some order to. And we love the order. Like, it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they love the order. I love it. And now it's just like, okay, now we just have, you know, certain positions where we know we need to strengthen, and some that still have holes that we need to fill. And it's just like, how are you going to come about this now to fill those holes up? You know what I'm saying? Like, defensively, you're doing everything right in my mind. You know, so far we're doing everything right. Except maybe Landon Collins right now. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's more Landon Collins, though, because he doesn't want to switch from strong safety, and he's the perfect hybrid at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to think about the team, and he's still getting paid all that money, so switching positions doesn't do anything. Just because the young boy behind you is better.
Right.
Oh, I did say that. He is better at safety than Landon Collins.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's kind of like the oh man, I can't even think of his name right now. Our cornerback that we had that came from Carolina.
Josh Norman.
Yeah. And I've always said he's just been, he's here.
Oh, he's back.
Yo, you good? Okay.
Gotta get the mic straight.
Yeah. But like with him, Josh Norman, I always thought that he was literally a system cornerback. That's all he was. And if he's not in the right system, he's not going to be successful. And that's what happened when he came here. You know what I'm saying? You realize that he can't be in the whole different system, and now he's just trying to play off of talent, and you got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Jay, you good?
You good up there?
I believe so. Okay. I believe so. Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, that's what's up. Derek, man, it's a weird way to meet you, but hey, what's up, bro?
Hold up, let me make sure I get this right. Okay. Yeah, it definitely is weird that the collaboration happens organically through a glitch. But here we are.
It's a glitch in the matrix, y'all.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. I don't know what happened. It's like everything just froze up on my laptop, and I've never had that issue. But yeah, man. Hey, I'm glad you're coming on. What was the topic y'all was into?
No, we were talking about the Washington football team.
Oh yeah, y'all are fans,
aka the Red Wolves.
But it was only like for a split second because we were still going off on Kwame Brown because I know that was the last topic you guys were on before everything went to hell.
Right.
I'm gonna have to try and what I'm gonna do is I'm obviously going to save whatever the recording is. I'm going to take the live stream off of all the platforms, then edit and then put everything back on. Yeah, it might take a little while, but whatever, it can be done.
All good. I mean, you're back on. We just kind of I was actually getting to the Ryan Kerrigan situation. You know what I'm saying, with him going to Philly. You know what I'm saying, going to Philly, signing for Philly. I think they said he's getting like $5 million. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really say how many years, if it's just 1 year or whatever.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
It's 1 year? Okay. Yeah. Okay. But, hey, I mean, like I said to some of my cousins, I was like, Kerrigan knows at least 2 games a year he's going to get multiple sacks. And that's against us. You know what I'm saying?
You have too much faith in Kerrigan.
Look. Kerrigan hasn't played that much in the past few seasons because he's had people in front of him better. Yeah. It's just what it is. But when he did get in there, I mean, yeah, he got some of those sacks because of the play of the defensive line, which is usually how it goes. So it's still, I mean, I think Philly's defensive line is maybe, I want to say second best in the NFC East right now.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that because I know they have their own Sweat on one end. And then they got Brandon Graham, I think, is still there. And then obviously the big guy in the middle. And it was funny because I was talking to one of my Philly followers on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I was rational about his defensive line. And now that they got Kerrigan, now I do have a question: is Philly playing 3-4, 4-3? Because
that's a very good question.
Because Kerrigan in the 3-4 was just not good.
I assume they play 4-3 based on. Well, they have a new head coach. That I don't know.
Yeah. So
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kerrigan
who the defensive
in the
coordinator is.
3-4. Kerrigan in 3-4 was it was terrible because
they had
he
him
had
in
to cover
coverage.
also.
Yeah.
And 3-4 has never been good here. It
Damn.
never really hasn't been good here, especially with the defensive coordinators we had.
We had a Rakpo covering at one point. Come on.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Nah.
Mm.
So Jerry, what's up with your Cowboys, man? What you
Oh,
got for
God.
them?
Yeah,
What you got
I
with
forgot.
them? You got
Look.
anything with them?
I looked at the schedule and I'm just like, oh yeah, we're screwed again. Like every year our schedules is terrible. I am one of the few Cowboys fans who hate playing 3 games in 11 days where you're playing on Sunday. I understand you play Thanksgiving, but then exactly another week again. I hate that.
Okay.
This is like the 6th straight year we've done it. And I think Jerry Jones likes it, so the league allows it. But me as a fan, I hate it because you don't want to play a short week and then have to play a week later. You want to have the extra 3 days, you know. And I know you eventually get it after the 3rd game, but it's like, come on, man. Now you're really beat up, and then just the 17th game is terrible. Also,
now
Go
with
ahead.
your schedule, because I know me and D were talking about it on his podcast in regards to the last 5 games.
It's the last 5 games.
The last
All
5 games
NFC
are all
East
NFC.
squads.
brutal.
Dallas twice, Philly twice, and the Giants at the end.
Yes, Cowboys have 4 of the last 5 are division.
Okay,
teams,
okay,
with
so they did
the
do that
Cardinals
to us,
in between.
Well, shoot, doesn't Cleveland have a stretch where they're playing in Ohio for like 5 or 6 of the last 7 games or something like that?
Yeah,
Because
something
it's
like
a
that.
mix of home games and playing against
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and I think they had a week. It was like 2 weekends in a row. So it was like they played the Ravens here,
Mm-hmm.
and then the following week they played the Ravens at home. Like what?
EA
Like,
Sports made the schedule.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Jesus Christ.
See, I feel like that's the problem with the 17th game. All of this would have been so much easier if there wasn't a 17th game.
Somebody had OCD up in New York talk about we can't have 8-8 no more. It's always got to be like 8 and 9. Someone can go 8 and 9, 9 and 8. That's
Yeah,
like no more at 500 teams unless there's a tie, and that creeps over maybe 500, maybe or a little below 500. So you're gonna be crying about teams that are just barely above or barely below.
you know what I'm saying. And see, the thing with me is, it was like I told you on yours, it was like, well, why only 5 division games in those last 6 weeks? Why don't you just have all 6 of them in the last 6 weeks? Why would you just have a random, like with us, having a random Giants game at like the beginning of the season, and then now we have these 5 in a row at the end of the season? Like either spread them out or just put them all together, where everything's just non-conference in the first 9 weeks of the season, 10 weeks of the season, and then all conference games, like they do in college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have non-conference games for like 2 months, and then the final month of the season before the NCAA tournament, you just have all your conference matches. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't understand how they just have a random conference game at some other point of the season, and then next you know you have 5 of them in a row at the end of the season. It just really makes no sense to me.
And does it really hurt having to have a second bye week? Like, it's the NFL. People are going to watch no matter what time of the year it is.
Yeah.
Like, are people really going to complain that the Super Bowl is February 18th?
I think
Are they?
I think they accomplished that by having just 3 preseason games.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why they got the extra bye week.
like,
It's like snuck it in.
Right,
Right.
you got the bye week before you play meaningful football.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like, there's your bye. Everybody gets it at the same time.
That's ridiculous. Because as a fan, I don't care that you're going into February. Like, it's only old curmudgeons who complain about stuff like that. Like, I remember when the Super Bowl was in the middle of January, and now it's in the beginning of February.
Yeah,
So
I also remember when offensive pass interference wasn't being called at all.
Right.
like, we grew up in the era where opening day was Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Right.
And that was cool. I mean, then they say, well, we want college football to have their day. I don't know. I don't really care too much about college football. They could have Saturday, and the NFL could have Sunday
exactly.
and
Right.
and Monday nights. Because that was so much fun. You watch NFL football all day, and then you didn't have to go to school the next day.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And then you had the Monday night on Labor Day, so you had your Labor Day celebration, and then you watched football to end the night before you go to sleep. Like,
Hell yeah.
so much fun. Anyways,
yeah.
Thad, how much time we got?
We got about 45 minutes.
All right, let's go through some
Yeah.
topics real quick.
All
Let's get to Major League Baseball. There was a no-hitter last night.
Another one.
Yes, another one.
Oh, there's an interesting fact about this one.
I think I know where you're going with that one. I'll let you, when we get to that point, I'll let you tell that story, Derek. But yes, if I can remember, is it Spencer Turnbull?
Yeah, that last name sounds very familiar. I played with a Turnbull back in the day.
Okay.
Youth baseball. Not this guy, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers threw a no-hitter last night versus the Seattle Mariners. This is no-hit number 6, I believe.
5. I think
Or 5. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I like it. I don't mind no-hitters. Like,
Well,
I don't.
No hitters are awesome.
Technically, it should have been 6 because they didn't count one because the team went
Bumgarner.
7 innings.
Yeah, Bumgarner.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, the stupidest thing ever. You the MLB shortened the game because it's a doubleheader, but you don't want to count it. That makes no sense. You shortened the game.
Well,
that makes no sense.
You talk about the commissioner of the league that likes to discount trophies to hide the fact that he supports the Houston Astros.
Yeah, true.
So,
That's true.
I think I don't get fed up with the Astros just because we beat them in the World Series.
screw them.
That's the only reason why
Hold up.
I don't have a problem with the Astros. But yeah, another no-hitter. I think it's great. Hey, turn up. Another no-hitter. I think it's great for baseball. I don't care what people say. No-hitters are cool. Perfect games are cool when you could get one. Shohei Ohtani had a home run last night. Another one, mammoth one, to center field.
Crazy.
Someone asked this question. I'll start with you, Derek. Would you like to see Shohei Ohtani be in the home run derby as a pitcher? When I say as a pitcher, he plays both two-way, but still, he's a
but
pitcher
represent the pitchers.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because having him in there as a pitcher, and the fact that he's doing it in the American League, just leads me to believe that there should be no designated hitter. That would encourage all the freaking two-way players to come out of hiding, because as we played in youth baseball, because I pitched and I played every position in that diamond. So it's just like, if you get more two-way players involved, just think of the possibilities.
Perfect.
You could possibly just spruce the game up, because the game itself is already dying.
Yeah.
It's losing money like crazy. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares for the old ways anymore.
Right.
I'm like, this rule that initially, I'm on record in saying this, that runner on second for extra innings, I thought it was a good idea, but that was based on the 60 game. But now we're back to 162. You need to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I actually like it. I'm all for the new stuff in baseball, but I actually like it. Try to get the game over as soon as possible. I know 18 inning games happen once every couple years, but it's still like, I think overtime you got to change it up just to try and end the game sooner. But that's just me. Talking about unwritten rules in baseball, you had Mercedes from the Chicago White Sox who hit a curveball late in the game when they were up 13 to like, I think it was like 13-0 or something.
I think it was 13-4.
13-4, okay. Hit a curveball from a position player, smacked that thing out the park, and on a 3-0 count. And his own manager that night said, yeah, he has to learn the ways of the league and blah blah blah. And then when he got thrown at last night, Tony La Russa, his own manager, was like, yeah, I'm cool with the Twins doing that to him. And I'm just like, bro, that's your own team. Like, that's your own player. And,
that's Tony for you.
That's true. Mercedes said, I'm going to do what I do. And I commend him.
Oh,
he said, I'm going to do what I do. This is how I play.
Yeah, he's supposed to hit the ball. That's how I see it. He's supposed to hit the ball. If you're going to throw it right down the middle, I'm going to kill it.
And talking about that, this dude is on Instagram Live right now. Oh man, he on Instagram Live right now. I follow him on IG. He just came on. That's hilarious. But yeah, let's get to our Champ and Chump of the week. Every week we celebrate those that do well and we criticize those that do not. BigThad, who is your champ of the week?
All right, my champ of the week is Sabrina Ionescu.
Baby, want a champ.
Yeah. Of the New York Liberty, became the youngest WNBA player to record a triple-double. And she also did this in the 6th game of her career. You know what I'm saying? The previous record was 25 years and 269 days by Deanna Nolan in 2005, who actually recorded her first triple-double on her 126th career game. So Sabrina has done it within 50, and the last person to have anything close was Cheryl Swoops in 1999, and she did her triple-double in the 59th game of her career.
My champ of the week, we mentioned it before we got cut off. It got to be Kwame Brown. The resurgence, the fact that he was able to set the story straight, and I believe him about the story about Michael Jordan and Nelson Brand, and we didn't get into this unless you all did while I was out. How Kwame Brown apparently is good with the hands.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. But that was the hilarious part.
Yeah. He's like, these small hands will get you.
Like mama's cooking.
Right.
But look, Kwame Brown, honestly, I don't remember what he sounded like when he was even here as a player.
That's what me and Derek said. We were like, yo, we don't think we've
I've never
heard him talk.
I've never heard him talk until now.
And I don't remember the media ever saying like, oh yeah, we can't ever get interviews with Kwame Brown. I just feel like we just never heard from the dude, and now we hearing him every day now. It's so good. Derek, this wasn't planned, but who would you say is your champ of the week?
It hates for me to say it, but Jayson Tatum last night dropped 50 points on a hapless coach who wouldn't even dare adjust his coverage to even get the ball out of his hands. So Jayson Tatum, just went to work, and his team will be facing the Brooklyn Nets. That's his reward.
Yep.
Derek,
good luck.
Derek, what's the stat with Jayson Tatum and the correlation with Major League Baseball?
Okay, so I think the stat with Jayson Tatum was 50 points on the dot. Didn't really check for the other stats. Maybe about I'm gonna guess like 5 rebounds. I know I'm probably breaking something on here because I'm like,
you're good. No.
So about 5 rebounds, maybe about 3-4 assists. So, and he did it, and the team won by 18 more than likely, because there was just nothing left.
Right.
And then the correlation with the story, the no hitters from earlier, is that the Mariners would no hit twice in a span of a week.
Yeah,
That's some shit.
Oh man,
We're a long ways away from Ken Griffey Jr.
right.
And
A-Rod and Edgar Martinez and Jay
Oh.
Buhner.
Oh God, Jamie Moyer at one
Yes.
point,
Yeah.
Randy Johnson. How do we forget
Yes.
Randy Johnson?
Right.
and he
Wow.
never pitched a no hitter for Seattle. I think he pitched it for Arizona.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So yeah,
When baseball was cool.
right when they were named after the Nintendo company for that stadium, they're getting played just like the console.
Oh man. Oh man. Also, I thought you were gonna bring this up
Uh-oh.
with Jayson Tatum.
hmm
The night he dropped 60 a couple weeks ago was another no hitter.
Oh.
That's what I thought you were gonna bring.
Nah,
up.
I was squarely focused on the fact that Seattle just got no hit twice.
Yeah, I forgot
Talk-
who had the other no hitter, but the night that Tatum dropped 60 in that comeback, and then last night were nights that there was a no hitter in Major League Baseball.
Wait a minute, I'm thinking that may have been Baltimore's pitcher. Who did Baltimore?
Yes, I
who
think it
did
was-
Means throw that against?
Seattle.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah, funny thing is my buddy, he was actually at the game. He was out there for training for he's a sheriff in Virginia.
Okay.
But went out there for he went out there for extradition or whatever. So they went to that game. They were like, he was like, "Yo, we're going to a baseball game and Baltimore is playing." And I was like, "Oh, that's dope." You know what I'm saying? It's cool, whatever. And then I was like, "Wait, yo, were you there for the no hitter?" He's like, "Yes."
Oh boy.
He was like, "Yo, it should have been a complete game, but the catcher messed up and blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah, oh, damn, you actually saw that in Seattle. Like, you wouldn't have seen it here in Baltimore, but yeah,
Nope.
well,
Especially with Peter Angelos as the owner. Screw that guy.
Oh, Big Thad, who is your chump of the week?
y'all might find this hilarious. Is Wontarius Bryant?
'Cause you're a chump.
So, Mr. Bryant, who is a graduated cornerback of Austin P University, I think that's how you say P.
I think so.
He decided to show up to the Atlanta Falcons training facility,
Oh,
believing he had a tryout, and they denied his ass at the door. So supposedly he got a text from an Atlanta number and somehow believed it was the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, and just decided to go show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, in my mind, I was like, yo, you got a text. You just got a text from an Atlanta number. It could have been anybody. Not if I would think a defensive coordinator would call you personally and be like, hey, we want to give you a tryout, yada, yada, yada. Or at least an assistant or something. I don't think they would send it to you in a text message, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Did the text message have like a confirmation code or something?
no. Who's his agent?
That's what I'm saying. That's also, yeah. Then I thought about it. I was like, do you have an agent? Like, how did your agent just not contact you? Be like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't so much blame the player. The player is gonna get excited. He's not even gonna double check, but like, yeah, it's my opportunity. I can go ahead and shine or whatever. But his agent's like, okay, all right, yeah, go ahead, go fly to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know this number. Wait a minute, but my boy's already in Atlanta. Ooh.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I would think you would get a call from the coach, a call from your agent. You know what I'm saying? Not a text message
And
from
his
a random
agencies-
Atlanta number.
And his agency spoke on it. They are actually were on TV. The player, obviously, when they requested the interview for the player after this happened, declined to speak. released a press statement, whatever. But his agent was just like, well, at least he gets some type of opportunity because he's doing something else that gets him into a camp, not an NFL camp, but like a skills progression type of camp. So they're working from there on, which is
wow.
Before I continue, I want to give a shout out to my boy Mike Edwards of the Dual Exchange. He left this comment here. Mike, thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
he has his.
He definitely believed. That's for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. You're a college kid. Your goal is to play in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? All that. But you just got a text message. Literally a text message from a random number. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he had to look up to see that it was from an Atlanta number. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't tell you what the Atlanta area code is. And as many times I've heard Ludacris go through the area codes, I'm not sure which one's ATL. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I you didn't even get it from your agent, at least.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least your agent. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else, I think, would have called you directly. Like an agent, either call you or text messages. But a defensive coordinator for an organization, I don't think he's going to just send you a text message, especially if he don't really know you. I think he's going to call you directly, be like, hey, we want to offer this to you, blah, 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 blah. But you would still hear from your agent, though. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep. Mike, we had some technical difficulties, so we're going to edit things and put it all together and then put it back out on YouTube.
There was some comment hits, though. There was some comment hits.
Yes, you will get all of that in the edited version, man. Mike is the host of his. He has his own YouTube show, The Dual Exchange.
Yeah, I can see the logo right there.
Yep.
He's
I need to check him out.
Yeah, content creator, photographer, videographer, editor. Great stuff every Friday around, I think it's 2:30 p.m. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but 2:30 p.m. every Friday has his premiere and then has his live show immediately after. My chump of the week has to go to Tony La Russa.
Gotcha.
Because you're a chump.
For doing that to his own player, and then his own team didn't even like that he said that about Mercedes. So yeah, he's the chump of the week. Derek, do you have a chump of the week?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry to wish bad juju on the Capitals, but Washington Capitals game 2 losing in overtime, but in particular Brendan Dillon, who's the one who tried to clear the puck erroneously and without any type of reason and gave it away, which led to the little tic-tac-toe passing by Boston and Brad Marchand with the game winner in OT. So, yeah, handle the puck better next time, especially tonight in Boston. Jeez.
Oh, man. Let's now get to our sports-free zone. We've teased this. I read an article by the New York Times about shower habits during the pandemic. And basically the article, the writer mentioned how some people since the pandemic have adjusted their shower habits. It started from the simple fact that there were stay-at-home orders, so people were at home. And some people felt like, well, if I'm not going out, I don't have to shower as much. And they even interviewed one woman who was an administrator at a school who said, yes, before the pandemic, she would shower sometimes twice a day. And then when she was at home with the stay-at-home order, she found herself not showering, got to the point that she was only showering once a week, and then has kept that routine up even after returning to work.
What?
And her reasoning was that, well, it's just one less thing to think about. I'm a single mother with children. It is one less thing to think about.
To stink about, right?
Let me tell you about my shower habits during the pandemic. I think I shower more now during the pandemic because the simple fact that when I go out in public now, it's like, yeah, man, I need to change these clothes, and yeah, I should shower too. You know?
Right.
Instead of waiting, maybe a couple hours before I go to bed, I'll shower. It is now like, nah, I walk in the house, I shower now.
Yeah.
And mind you, I always used to shower 2 times a day. It's now sometimes 3 at this point. Like, the water bill has definitely gone up for sure dealing with me in this pandemic. But you can guess the demographic of the young or the woman that only showers once a week due to her schedule.
Historical note: we taught them how to wash themselves.
Oh God!
I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Oh God! Yo, I just don't understand it. Like, okay, I got you doing it once a week when you weren't back to work. Now you're back to work and you're still staying to the once a week. Come on, yo! Like, why? That's just laziness, yo. That's just laziness because you're going to work every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to work 1 day a week or even 2 days a week. You know what I'm saying? You're back to work and whatever. And I'm guessing she's a teacher or
administrator, but still,
still you're around people all the time. Like, come on. Like, would you just put on perfume and being done with it? Like, what?
Jeez.
That makes no sense.
If perfume was involved. Anyways,
right.
Then you had people who chimed in on Twitter. And we're just kind of like, well, research shows you shouldn't be showering every day anyway because you strip your body of natural oils. And I'm just like, no, you don't.
No.
What if I'm gonna say if you are stripping your body of natural oils, it's because of the soap you're using, not the fact that you shower.
Thank you.
So get yourself some natural soaps. Get you some soaps with some herbs, things like that, vitamins, minerals,
right.
And then put on some good lotion. You get it all back. Drink your water. You get it all back.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
Before the live stream went down, I had someone call me Joe Budden, and it reminded me of Joe Budden right now in the Joe Budden Podcast. Let me tell y'all this right now. No matter how big this podcast ever gets, I'm not going to be Joe Budden. Joe Budden has fired Rory and Mal from his podcast. So I'm kind of like, what's the podcast going to be about? Like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to find someone else to join you, or are you just going to be rambling by yourself?
Just be rambling by yourself.
And by the way, I never really cared for the podcast. I thought it was extremely overrated.
I wouldn't say it was like one of the greatest podcasts or anything like that. It wasn't terrible either. There's been times where they've had some good topics they talked about and had some great dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it wasn't all that to my mind.
Rory and Mal wanted to know basically the stats on the podcast because their contract was based on the stats. They get a certain cut. They get a cut based on however many downloads in views, and they accused Joe Budden of basically not showing them what the stats were because they're like, well, we don't know if we're getting paid what we should be getting paid. Mm-hmm. And then he mentioned before, before the pandemic when live shows were a thing for podcasts, he said how Joe went outside one venue and did a video of the crowd standing outside and they were around the block. And he came back in and he said, I have these people around the block. And Rory and Mal were like, nah. Or Mal said this. He said, nah. He was like, I've been in some of these towns when you were just rapping. You never had a crowd like this. He was like, the podcast is what got you this crowd. And he said, we are part of the podcast, so we all did this.
Right.
And, they basically said how Joe Budden pretty much was trying to use basically using his rap career as the reason why it's successful. And by the way, I mean, I never thought Joe Budden was a good rapper at all.
He had one song. And
he had one
song.
Pump it up.
And he wasn't.
Everybody says that.
He wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible with Slaughterhouse.
He wasn't terrible. I heard.
He wasn't terrible.
Never heard.
That's
of
what I'm saying. He wasn't terrible with Slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Slaughterhouse was after he had I think he had lymph node surgery or something like that, vocal cord surgery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
After the Pump It Up days and all that. So, but with Slaughterhouse, he wasn't terrible. But
I just heard the breakup was terrible.
Yeah, completely terrible. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Anyways,
how much? And I'm sure it had a lot more to do with him than Joel Ortiz or the other guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How much time we got, BigThad?
I could do another 10 minutes or so.
All right, let's do this real quick. Thad found an interesting article on Reddit. We haven't done our Reddit topic of the week in a long time, so we're bringing it right back.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Joe on Slaughterhouse was definitely tough compared to the regular Joe Budden Pump It Up days. Yeah,
maybe I have to actually go listen to Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse is ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Slaughterhouse, Joel Ortiz and them is ridiculous. But like when you think of Joe Budden and then you think of Slaughterhouse, you're kind of like, wait, hold on, this ain't the same Joe Budden. But, yeah.
Maybe I have to check it out. I never. I think I heard Joe Budden and I just was like, let me not listen to these bums. I just assumed Joe by association. I was like, Joe Budden's part of this? I ain't about
I'll feel you on that.
All right, let's get to the Reddit topic of the week. BigThad, you found this. It was posted by SoftKid_101. No person in the NBA's 50-40-90 club. And the 50-40-90 club, for those that don't know, are individuals who 50% from the field, 40% from 3-point, and 90%
free throw line.
From the free throw line. And all those are 50-40 and up.
Yeah.
There are several NBA players that have done it. Larry Bird, he did it twice, 86-87 season, the 87-88 season. Then Mark Price, the 88-89 season. Reggie Miller, the 93-94 season. Steve Nash, 2005-2006 season. You had Nash again in 07-08, and in 08 and 09, 09 and 010. Did not realize that.
Wait. How you just... Yeah, I'm about to say. You was about to skip over Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki, 06-07.
Yep.
You had Kevin Durant, 12-13 season. Steph Curry, the 15-16 season. Malcolm Brogdon, the 18-19 season. And something... hold on. Now I need to go on my Twitter page to find this. Do you know who had a better stat line this year? This is gonna blow your mind.
Wasn't it? Isn't it the dude from around here that you know, the really dark dude?
Really dark dude. That's
he's
really identical.
He's really. I want to say it's Tony something.
Tony Snell.
Yeah, Tony Snell. Yeah.
He is part of the 50-50-100 group.
Yeah.
He shot 50%, over 50% from the field, over 50% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. He has not missed a free throw since March 12th, 2019.
How many free throws has he taken, though?
And he qualified because it was the minimum of 100 attempts.
Yeah.
So he had 100 attempts in all of those categories. I didn't even know he even played that much for Atlanta. And it made me think of the game he had against the Jazz where he had in 28 minutes 0.0 rebounds, 0 assists.
Oh yeah, they keep bringing up that stat.
0 steals.
It's like how you get not one stat, not one.
I mean, basically they were playing 4-on-5 when he was on the floor.
But I was going to say, if you're going by this list, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
If you want to continue this list, we go into the WNBA. There's only one person
Yes.
Elena Delle Donne
Yep. Of our Washington Mystics. So
in the championship year.
Yep.
here is I did not read that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It was done in a championship year. Now, the men in the NBA,
Right, the
Watch
first.
yourself.
Especially where they flop.
Watch yourself.
What do you call it? I hope no one tries to use that as some clip to make me sound misogynistic. That was a mistake. That was a.
Well, trust me, I have my own meme now. So.
All right, so here's the correlation with the 50-40-90 club in the NBA and championship seasons. Not one of those guys who achieved that feat won the NBA Finals. In 1986-87, the Celtics lost to the Magic in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Celtics lost, but to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. Mark Price and the Cavaliers lost to the Bulls in the first round. That was when Jordan
Hit that.
Craig over Elo,
Yeah.
93-94, Reggie Miller, they lost against the Knicks in 94. Nash, that was with the Suns, lost to the Mavericks. Dirk, that year when he was MVP, lost to the We Believe Warriors.
Right.
Yeah, man, that team was pretty interesting. Same thing with Nash. Nash has never won a finals at all. Kevin Durant, 2012-13 season, they lost to the Grizzlies in the Western Conference semis. To Marc Gasol and Tony Allen and Zebo.
Team Grit.
Yes. And then in the 16 season, that was when the Warriors fell in that 3-1 finals lead. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So that is the correlation between the 50-40-90 club and championship seasons in the NBA. Oh, man. This has been a very eventful day.
Definitely has been.
You know what I'm saying? Day of technical difficulties, but it made itself out.
I had one just jumping on beforehand, so yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. So, but D, it was awesome having you on here to fill in. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, of course, we wanted to have you as a guest at some point in time, so we definitely still will. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
And this guy over here playing music and everything right now.
Oh, I forgot.
You're like playing everybody out.
Right?
You know
what's going on.
Wrap that shit up, B. Wrap it up.
You know what? Because I can't monitor right now, I forgot that y'all could probably hear it, and I can't.
Yeah, we can hear everything right now.
Let me turn down the music because I can't hear it.
The main thing about it is that I know in my early podcasting shows, I had music playing in the background, and it actually can set the tone of the whole show. So I'm like, you never know. You have a little lo-fi going.
Oh yeah, definitely. And usually he does, but most of the time, Facebook would just shut it off.
Facebook.
God, I was thinking about possibly streaming to Facebook, and I thought about that same limitation.
I'm probably gonna have to get royalty-free instrumentals and just do that, which I have no problem. It's just I just like what I wanted. I just wanted to play what I wanted to play.
Right.
You know, but yeah, man. Shout out to my boy Mike Edwards once again. He is a huge Philadelphia fan. So go Sixers, by the way. Born and raised in the Philadelphia area. So yeah, man. It depends. If the Washington Wizards somehow win this game against the Pacers, then yeah, I want the Wizards to beat your Sixers. But yeah, man,
that's not gonna happen.
Fire Scott Brooks. Fire Brooks. Fire Brooks. That Bama needs to go.
How do you not adjust to a guy who had 33 points at the time you could have made that adjustment and didn't bother to do it?
If Ted Leonsis doesn't fire this man, I don't trust him as an owner anymore.
Hey, he brought home a Stanley Cup. Hey, watch yourself.
I mean, that's hockey. We're talking about basketball now.
I believe that's the
Wait a minute. Hold on. Technically, he did bring home a basketball title because he does own the Mystics.
Yeah,
so
that's
2 titles in the last 3 years. So
Yeah.
I give him credit.
Fire Scott Brooks.
Yes.
Just need to fire him. Just fire him.
This is my thing. The Wizards are not Ted Leonce's baby. So the fact that the Capitals actually won, it was just like, oh, well, my favorite team won.
right.
I just took y'all over when Abe Poland died.
Right.
Anyways, man.
I mean, that, you know what? That's the reason why Ernie Grunfeld
Oh,
was there
God.
for just 10 years too late.
What we don't want as Wizards fans is the secret extension.
Yeah.
For all we know, Scott Brooks might be extended for another 2 years, and we don't even know yet.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't want that to happen. Let's get out of here. Derek, thank you for coming on to the podcast. We will have an official collaboration with you. Before you go, let everyone know where they can follow you and your 2 podcasts.
Well, right now, one of those podcasts is on hold.
Okay.
So I will say I was on that. Well, I still am on that podcast when it actually resumes. It's called First and Frame Rates. Normally, that show would go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's myself, my boy Bills, and VF, and we talked about sports and sports video gaming. And then there's my solo podcast called What WTF. I'm not going to say the whole thing. WTF Just Happened. That goes live YouTube and Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a variety show. Talk about anything and everything. I don't limit anything. So purely opinionated. And you can follow me on Twitter. You can find me at DJ81 on Twitter. And then one more thing. I do have a website where I do a little bit of writing. You can find it at dj81.org.
Hey.
Yo, your YouTube does the is DJ81 also, right?
Yeah, you can do DJ81 or you can go by my name, Derek Jordan. It really, I don't care to throw my name out there. That's the way they got it set up, Google, ever since they bought YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Once again, shout out to my boy Mike Edwards. Make sure you follow him, The Dual Exchange on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Live show every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to OSS 980, Soggy Nachos, Shut Your Face. Also, 4th and 13 podcast, the Curls and Sports podcast. Thank you for everyone who supports us. And until next time, everyone, Sports Reality. Peace.
Peace.